A lot of people think, oh, you're in your 30s, testosterone's probably still where it should be. Oftentimes it's not. We have guys at Game Day Men's Health in their 20s that come in.
Hey.
What's up, big dog?
What's happening, man?
Ain't nothing much, brother. Same old grind.
You watch football today? Have you watched any of the games?
Yeah, I was just finishing up watching the Broncos and the Dallas game.
Is that good?
Yeah, man. The Broncos is 5-2, man. Shit.
I know. I watched the 1:00 games, but I haven't watched games since.
My Steelers come on at 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Steeler fan. I'm not a fan of what the Steelers did this year.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of I know we ain't winning no Super Bowl. Like, I'm not one of those Steeler fans that thinks like every year we're going to fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely rooting for the Steelers. I'm hoping we can just get a fucking playoff victory. We ain't had a playoff victory in damn near a decade. You know what I'm saying?
Dougie, did you know that the Steelers were actually my favorite team growing up?
Oh, word? No, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I was a very big Barry Foster and Rod Woodson fan.
You're Greg Lloyd.
Greg Lloyd, was it Kevin Green? Yeah.
Oh man. You're taking me back.
Yep.
Bro. Yeah.
Whenever I used to play Super Tecmo Bowl for Super Nintendo, I always picked the Steelers too.
That's crazy. Yeah. Barry Foster. I had an opportunity to meet Greg Lloyd quite a few times. He used to come to, so there's a neighborhood in Pittsburgh called Homewood. It's a pretty dangerous neighborhood, still is. Mm-hmm. He used to always come to the Homewood Library and read books to the kids and stuff, man. He was a really good dude, really down to earth. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a cool experience,
Yeah.
Isn't it nice when you meet like your idols and they're who you hope they are and not what you don't want them to be?
Tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I always told myself I couldn't ever be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I realized the fans and the supporters that I have now, I realize that they're the reason why I am who I am. So I couldn't ever see myself being like that. I've met quite a few people like that. I have professional football players who are friends. So I've met some professional football players who are a-holes.
Yeah. What's happening, Carlos?
Brother Carlos,
how you guys doing?
What up, cuz?
What's going on, man?
What's happening?
Ain't nothing much, big dog. How you?
I'm all right, man. Living, taking a day at a time.
Yes. I could dig it.
Y'all got me out of the shadows. I don't know how it happened.
You said I got me out of the shadows. Listen, bro, I feel you because I just came out of the shadows too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, it's cool to be off the grid.
Yeah.
Because then people are wondering, like, what are you doing? What's going on? And you just like, I'm just living my life, not showing y'all my fucking shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, man.
Sometimes you got to do that, man. It's needed. I do that from time to time. You don't post much, just out living life and living in the moment. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I was actually watched your last podcast. And you were saying, Doug, you were saying how you had a social media break and everything, and how that was kind of something you needed, yeah, man, I really couldn't take one for a while because when you have social media obligations and things like that, it's kind of things you have to just do. But when those things kind of went away from me, I was like, I'm just going to take this time right now. What better opportunity now? Most people would be like, I'm gonna double down so I can, re-up and get back on with a different team or something. But I was like, you know what? I don't like that obligation anymore.
Yeah.
It feels cool, don't it? It's like you're free. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many nuances to this social media thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I be hearing people say weird stuff like, I've heard some people say things like, how some people like judge, they look at our lives from the spectator view. So people are always trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together, and people say things about like, I don't share like my family enough. Like, but my kids hate when random people know who the fuck they are. They don't like when a random motherfucker walk up to them and they be looking like, who? I don't know you. You know my dad. You don't know me. You know what I'm saying? And we live in a crazy world now. So, you know, it's just interesting the different nuances of social media and sometimes you not being aware of those things. And then, you know, once you become aware of them, you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because just people are always just trying to figure out what's going on. So when you ain't on, man, I know you get a lot of DMs because I had a lot of DMs, but I appreciate the people that always the genuine people who just checking to make sure you good.
And not the ones that are just fishing for information to try to get the scoop on what's going on. Be like, oh, I heard Dougie did this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, kind of playing off this, and it all plays together, I guess. I was watching a little review podcast from a different channel. I won't really talk about him because it's not my favorite channel, but he used this word about Samson and how Samson lost today. He said, is this going to hurt Samson's stock?
No.
And I've decided I really hate that term, stock.
Yeah.
Because like let's be real, right? Like Samson has great sponsorships. He's a great ambassador to the sport. We know what physique he brings. So what is this talk of stock? Like what I hate that word. Like because you lost to a great bodybuilder, that takes something from you. Like now you're
because we live in a society now where people think you're supposed to go undefeated in everything, and that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
that's some bullshit. That's not realistic. That's not real life.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I think that's social media expectation too from fans and just friends and family sometimes. You know, I'm not saying every friend or family, you know, some people have some really good support systems with friends and family, but I think that comes a lot of pressure when you're trying to perform at such a high level. And I mean, you know, I don't see how his stock, as you said, it could be, you know, lowered. I mean, he's still third in the world at the Olympia. I mean, you know, like, you know, I'm from Boston. Like, if Bill Belichick loses a game or loses Super Bowl, does that hurt the Patriot stock? You know, like Nick Walker's showing at this year's Olympia. Does that hurt his stock? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even know what they mean by stock anymore. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I mean, maybe in the days of Weeder contracts that meant something of the stock of like, oh man, like this, you had a bad run, so maybe that means something now. But I mean, I think that's a little bit different, right? You know, like I think it doesn't really always count on like how much your success on the stage is. You know, it helps, but I mean, but Samson's already a proven success, so it's not like he's an up and comer. So he's already proven success. We know he is Mr. Olympia. That's not taken away from him. Even this loss. I mean, Ronnie Coleman lost. I mean, Jay Cutler lost. Everybody, Mr. Olympias lose, dude. Like that's how it happens. They're bodybuilders too. And
let's keep it 100. Even if you got one, you got one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
you got one. Brandon got one.
I got one. Like something that some people will never, like literally will never fucking get.
Yeah.
Name etched in stone. Even if it's just one time. Dexter only got one too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it hurts his stock. I just hate how like Chris said, I think it's just this place in society and social media where we are, where it's, you know, you're only as good as your last show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if you look at some of these, like, you know, fitness influencers that have these crazy sponsorship deals that have never competed once in their life, like, what's their, you know, where does their stock worth? I think if the only things that might really hurt a competitor or one of these people's stock is if they came out and just said something so politically incorrect now where they get canceled. Right. I think something like that is what's going to hurt someone's stock. You know what I mean? Like, God forbid someone comes out and says a racist comment or says something about sexual preference. You know what I mean? Like that is when that can hurt someone's stock big time. I mean, people win, people lose. You're going to have a person who wins every show, and you're going to have second, third, fourth, and so on.
Especially in bodybuilding, because there's only one winner. There's only one. You know what I'm saying? We all show up. One person wins. We move on to the next.
You know, the human body is very unpredictable at times.
Yeah.
sometimes it just doesn't agree with you when something happens during a peak or when you're getting ready to get on stage, stress level, something, anything, and you're not at your best.
I just caught a clip online. It was, I think it was like the 1999 British something. Aaron Baker took fourth, and the crowd went nuts, booing hard. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was a judge, I'd have turned around like, damn, like these mugs is booing. I mean, and it definitely still kind of adds that extra element because bodybuilding is a subjective sport. The top 5, typically you could flip a coin. It just comes down to who the judges like better. Everybody, every professional bodybuilder for the most part, you make the top 5, you look good, and the cool part in today's world, you have your own channel. Samson is going to make money outside of competing. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really, he still won some money, got second place. So, it ain't like his career is over or anything like that. That's the one thing that I hate about this new generation. It's like college football. It's like if you don't go undefeated, you can't win a national championship. And it's like, that's not true. Sometimes you got to lose a few times. Sometimes you need to lose to realize you're not as good as you think. There's some things you need to recalibrate and come back and get what's yours. You know what I'm saying?
100%. So, Carlos, has your time away from social media, have you been keeping up with bodybuilding, or has it been like you're just in your own zone of like your own focus?
I think most recently I've gotten back into it. I feel as though maybe like during the summer time, I was just kind of like a little bit away from it. I wasn't really keeping up with it too much. But when the Olympia came around, I did started watching it a little bit more and keeping up with it. And I always try to, see what's happening. But as far as like consuming media from it, different pages or YouTube, stuff like that, I just haven't really been doing it just because I just think I did it for so long. When you get so gung-ho into this thing, man, it just sucks you in. Like, everything about it. You're consuming bodybuilding 24/7. Yeah, this, that. And you're like, I need it. I need to feed that flame. And then at one point I was just like,
I need a break.
Nah, I need a break, bro. I need a break. I need to step away. But yeah, I have been keeping up with it with like the past few shows, like the Olympia and obviously this one that just happened. And like, what was that? The British and the Mexico. And so yeah, I've been keeping up a little bit more than I have the past few months.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I agree with you. Like the consumption of bodybuilding media sometimes gets to a point. Like me and Shay talk about it. Like obviously we do this podcast too, so we want to be up on current events. So I feel like I'm always watching podcasts, always taking content in on Instagram. And when you like a year straight of that, just like boom, 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 boom. Once the Olympia was over, I had a moment where I was like, I don't fucking want to watch anything bodybuilding at all. Like I'm good for a bit.
I have those moments too, man. And then with us being who we are and looking how we look, some people think that's all we really want to talk about all the time is fitness when I come around. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time I don't be wanting to talk about it because you're asking me shit that you're not going to retain. You don't really give a fuck about. Yeah. You're more intrigued with the way that I look, and that's cool. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But it's really like, it's like my NFL friends. When I get around them, I don't talk about football because I know they tired of talking about football because that's all they talk about with other people. And I know them personally, so we don't have to talk about football all the time. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? And for most of us, it's our job, but it's also still a hobby, something that we like to do. And me just recently, I can't remember who it was a few weeks ago where you talk about like when bodybuilding starts to seem like a job, then it becomes something that I'm not really interested in. And it started to feel like that because I was putting so much pressure on myself to win, and after Japan and after everything happened with Japan, that was when I really took my time to just really start decompressing and, start really focusing on things that really matter. Not that bodybuilding doesn't matter, but, with my son going to college, my daughter going into high school and just life, you know what I'm saying? Like I love bodybuilding. I'm gonna continue to bodybuild, but I'm a bodybuilder because it's what I like to do. It's not who I am as a person.
Yeah. And I what you just said there resonated deeply with me because I think we had similar paths this year you were speaking to Japan. Mine was around that Arnold Detroit time where I was just like, man, I was like, you know what? Like I let myself get a little bit too deep into this thing. And I kind of lost sight of like this Carlos. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is Carlos. I'm like, no, that's not you, bro. It's not you. This is you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to get back to doing that and living the life that I kind of put on hold, you know, like before, you know, when you're just so deep in the trenches of, you know, you want to succeed within this, you know, this space, this bodybuilding space, and you kind of lose sight of some other things. And I mean, sometimes it's kind of how it has to be to, you know, obviously progress. We all know how you kind of have to have those blinders on, but man, like when it becomes too much, it's too all consuming. So same thing with me, man. I had to take a step back and look at the landscape and say, you know what, do I even want to be a part of this anymore? You know, do I even want to like commit myself to this any further? And I had to like really deeply think about that. And I decided, I was like, you know what, I can still do this, but I don't have to be this.
Facts.
Right. Yeah.
Facts.
And that's where, you know, like these 6-7 months that went by, I was just trying to get back to, you know, other parts of myself, you know what I mean? Like where I was like, okay, I can still love the game. I can still enjoy it, but I don't have to be it anymore. And you know what I mean? And that's where I'm going at now.
I love to hear that, man, because you know, people don't realize the behind the scenes, what goes into everything that we do. And you know, when you give it your all and you don't get the result that you want, and then with the attention of social media and sometimes how people can just jump down your back and down your throat, it can make you feel like, you know, I questioned a lot of things after I lost in Japan. You know, literally, you know, I walked away from my job. I really dedicated myself to bodybuilding and I felt like a failure. But you know what the interesting thing was, man, and this was how I knew that I'm walking my path and that God gave me a sign. So my best friend, he was the best man in my wedding. His brother was in Japan at the same time with his 14-year-old daughter. And I had no clue until I seen his daughter saying she was on Shibuya Street. And I reached out to him and I'm like, please tell me you're in Tokyo. He said, yeah, man, we exchanged numbers. We linked up. We got to hang out. You know, just his daughter got to meet my daughter. And what's the chances of two dudes from Pittsburgh being in Tokyo, Japan at the same time, and neither one of us knew that we were going? You know what I mean? And for me, that was a sign from God. Just let me know I'm still walking my path, and that our path is always going to be rocky. There's always going to be trials and tribulations, you know, no matter what we do. You know how they say you got to pick your heart? It's hard being out of shape and it's hard getting in shape. You got to pick your heart, what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, that was my moment where I said the same thing as you. Like, I don't have to be something that I'm not. I like bodybuilding. I like to compete. So continue to do that and not put that pressure on myself to make it seem like I have to win every fucking bodybuilding competition that I do.
Yeah. I think the problem is though, is that, and I'm speaking for myself, like personally, but I'm pretty sure that most of you feel the same way too. But like when you're in prep, you just let this shit consume your brain. Like it's just complete takeover mode. And you feel like at that point, like this is the mental aspect of bodybuilding where like sometimes we tend to lose control of like who we are, what we are about, because we're so absolutely obsessed with like the end meat goal of trying to put a better package on stage. And then just like, even now I'm not in prep, I'm in an off season and I look at it and I'm just like, this isn't who, like, I'm not going to let bodybuilding define who I am as a person. Like going out of the realm and just like being who you are and actually like Doug was just talking about, like stepping out of like the Instagram world and just like trying to just focus on bettering yourself as a person and not putting too much pressure on yourself. And if things happen, then they'll happen the way that they're going to happen. You know what I mean? Like it's not the end all be all. And like when we're in prep, we feel that at that point in time, like it can consume us and it is the end all be all. But like when we're not in prep, I think we tend to turn the other way and just be like, hey, this doesn't have to be this way. I think we think, obviously we're thinking a lot more clear when we're not in that prep situation. So, I mean, I'm trying to change that mindset and bring it right back, like bring it through prep and be like, hey, this isn't the end all be all. You love what you do. This is a passion. It's not you're not making.
It doesn't define us.
Right. You're not making the millions of dollars. So it's just
that part, because everybody swears they're going to be millionaires when they turn pro.
You're doing something that you love. Doing something that you love to do. That's all that matters.
Yeah. I think this is a great time to bring up the word balance.
Yeah.
And I think that word is thrown around a lot. I see it around on social media all the time. And I think the way I look at things when I'm in prep is that when I'm in prep, there is no balance. And not if you're trying to get peeled outside your mind, bring the best pack and keep progressing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I look at it as like, okay, like there's no balance for this 20 or 24 week prep that I'm doing, and then after the dust settles, then it's kind of like, okay, let's enjoy normal things in life. My wife and I will take some trips and go away and have fun when we can. We have our date night that we have once a week. I spend more time with friends and not really thinking about bodybuilding. Like to me, getting my meals in every day, training hard in the gyms are like non-negotiables, but I view that as part of my work day. But after I'm done with my work day, then I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to be on social media. Maybe I don't want to talk bodybuilding at all, and even some of my closest friends that come over here, two of them don't even have social media, like not anything on social media. And we don't even talk about bodybuilding.
I got friends like that too. My one homie hates it. Ain't ever had it. And he don't care to be on it. I'd be like, you ain't missing nothing. You really
no, exactly. But I think when you actually have that, what I always try to do, which has helped me the last couple of years, is I try to have like a rough map of how that year is going to go. It's like, okay, you got prep, all eggs in that basket there. Just because I know that if I didn't have an outcome that I wanted, or something happened, I'd be like, I didn't give it my all. So I want to at least make sure that I always give it my all. That way I don't have any regrets during a prep type of thing. But outside of prep and stuff, I mean, you're going to grow, you're going to be eating, you're going to be training. But I mean, you don't have to be sitting home all day doing nothing, taking naps and just eating, sleeping, bodybuilding.
Well, that's just because everybody watches the popular people, and then everybody thinks that they could be, everybody. I mean, because when you watch Jay Cutler and you hear his daily schedule, it's like amazing, right? And if you're a normal person watching that and you want to attain that, you think that it's achievable, but most people don't know the sacrifices that go behind that, and then the other things that go along with that. It's like everybody has to walk their own path.
I had a friend who I had a chat with a few years ago who was like a multimillionaire, extremely successful. And he was like, look, he's like, you can work hard now up front so that, you can enjoy things later, or, you may not work as hard and kind of fuck off. And then you're struggling type of thing. And he's like, anything that you're going to do in life that is not easily attainable is going to require some sort of sacrifice in time. So I've always viewed things like that, where it's like whatever I'm doing, I want to give 110%. Especially if it's like, it's working on with my job, or working as a competitor, that sort of thing. But sometimes you got to safeguard your mental health, because it as we all know, it can definitely take its toll on you. You need breaks. This is where the whole balance comes in. It's not always day-to-day balance, but sometimes it's certain amount of months out of the year where you're having that balance and enjoying time.
Yeah, prep is not easy on the mind or body. It is extremely stressful. I think too, this was the first time I did 3 shows in a year. Let me tell you, after Japan, I didn't want to talk. I didn't give a fuck about bodybuilding, especially when I was in Japan. And shout out to you, Carlos, because I tried that eel. Listen, bro, I would have never tried that shit if you didn't tell me to. I swear to God, it looked slimy as hell, but it wasn't bad. It tasted like fish. If somebody didn't tell me what it was, I wouldn't even have questioned it. I'd have fucked it up.
What'd you have? Did you have unagi?
Yeah, unagi.
That's eel.
Yes, the eel. Yeah, the eel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so good.
Oh man, listen, bro. When I seen you was in Japan, I asked you all them questions. Man, I want to go back.
Dude, it's good. It's awesome, man.
I enjoyed my time there, bro. Like
Yeah.
I have to go back.
Yeah, we have plans to go back next year. Man, I think that was like the most time where, speaking about balance, where like I think because we were there for like 3 weeks. Man, I didn't. I probably trained one day out of each week. It was like 3, maybe 4 times, and that was just for just to say I did it kind of thing. I was like, I'm gonna be in here, get it in, and I had the invite to go to a gym. It was easy for us to go, so I was like, all right, cool, get it in. But other than that, man, I mean, it was amazing. It was a great time, and I went from where did I start? We went outside of Tokyo because I was there for a guest posing on the Air Force Base.
Oh, that's dope.
and that was right outside of Tokyo, and then we went from there to Osaka, spent a couple days in there. From Osaka to Kyoto, spent a few days there, which was probably my favorite place to visit. Osaka was Kyoto, and then we went to Tokyo. Nice. Tokyo for a few days, but man, like definitely gonna go back. I'd like to just travel more of the country, man, and just spend some time there. It was awesome.
And it put so much in perspective for me, living in America and then being in Japan and seeing how Japan culture is just much, much different than America, man. It was a treat. The food was different. My daughter's looking at the fruit. She's like, these don't look like grapes. I'm like, because these are real grapes. These are real fucking grapes. This is what grapes are supposed to look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We had like a peach. I had a peach from the grocery store, and this thing was like, bro, I mean, it was like the most flavorful like fruit I've tasted in a long time. Like, I was like, what is this? What is going on here? I was like, this is like an actual. The flavor didn't taste muted. It was weird.
My coach said the same thing when he was eating the yogurt. He said he could tell that there just wasn't a lot of preservatives and extra shit in there. It had a natural sweet taste to it.
Yeah, and it was just awesome walking around Kyoto around like 11 p.m., almost midnight, and I mean, man, you could hear a pin drop.
Quiet,
ridiculously quiet, and you could see you saw like a mother walking her son home like late at night, and I'm like, bro, this would never happen. This never happened around my way, ever. So it was a good change of pace, man. And bro, I was like, man, if I could, I would. I'd be out this.
Man, I didn't told my wife if I leave the country, I wouldn't mind moving to Japan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was.
I think we all have those. Like, I don't, so we're planning a trip for this fall to Morocco, or this coming fall in Morocco. And I, like Chris was saying, you have to have a yearly plan. Yeah, I said I would bodybuild till I'm 40, and then I personally would like to be done, just because in my 40s I would like to take that time to travel as much as possible, be as mobile as possible. And I do think that like the idea of, we always talk about like, man, what is life after bodybuilding going to be? And I guess sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose that, identity of being like Big Mike. Like, it's cool walking around big. Like, I'd be lying if I say I don't like it at times. But on the other hand, the idea of not having to go to the gym unless I want to, not having to eat 6 meals a day, and just experiencing culture, that shit is so exciting to me that part of me is always like, man, I can't wait till bodybuilding is over. Do any of you ever like have that feeling at all? Like, don't get me wrong, I love bodybuilding. I fucking love bodybuilding. Obviously, I'm still here, but the idea of what's after bodybuilding is super exciting to me as well. I don't know. Do any of you feel like that at all?
Personally, I feel that way, but like everyone here started a lot earlier than I did. So I think like I'm just like kind of in the midst of it, where I think like my body is really absorbing it now, where I'm just trying to take advantage of it. Even at the age that I'm at, I'm still having like crazy progression. So, but I definitely 100% feel you on that. I'm like, I definitely look at life after it, and I'm like, I would love to travel the world, like hit every country, like learning the culture. Like that's what gets me excited, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for me, I told myself I want to compete for like 10 years as a pro. That's kind of like my goal. I'm almost halfway there. I'm pretty much halfway there. And as long as I'm having fun and I'm progressing, I'm gonna continue to do it. And once I feel like I'm not progressing and I'm not having fun, if it hasn't been 10 years, I'll definitely be done. Because this is not something I'm gonna do if it's not fun. Because this shit ain't fun. You know what I'm saying? But it's fun because it's not fun right now. If that makes sense.
I get it, Doug.
But I do like the idea too. Like it was dope to go to Japan, compete in the show, even though I ain't get paid yet. Hopefully I'll get paid at some point. You know what I'm saying? But to go and compete somewhere and win some money and enjoy the city and the culture and things like that, man. Like I think like that to me is dope, and I'm in that space right now where I'll travel anywhere and compete. You know what I'm saying? Just to go somewhere and enjoy it and look good while I'm there. Because when I get on stage, I'm gonna look good regardless. I don't care what placing I get now, because I'm at that point. I'm not competing to win, right? I know the chances of winning bodybuilding competitions are slim, especially depending on what shows you go to. Speaking for myself, I'm 40. I'll be 42 in December, but I have gotten good feedback and I'm making good progress. So I do plan on moving into the open, competing in the open.
Nice.
And then there's more shows around the globe for me to do. I'll pop up any fucking where on any stage just to enjoy the city. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and that's just how I am as a person. You know what I'm saying?
I will say that's probably the biggest benefit of like being in the pro circuit is probably you can pick a freaking show wherever you want to pretty much across the globe. And then like after actually enjoy where you're at and the culture of it. Like, so that is a good perk in a sport that you have a passion for.
For sure.
I was going to say, Dougie, I'm on that. If I do this and I just wake up one day and I go, I'm not having fun anymore, or I'm not progressing and my body's starting to regress, then that's when I'm going to hang it up, But with me, it was a little different because I started competing in 2009, but I took a long, like 8-9 year break from it because I wanted to focus on career, which sometimes I kick myself in the ass for that. But at the same time, like I do really well for myself and, it allows me to do what I'm doing now.
Yep.
So if I just wake up one day and I just don't want to do it anymore, I'm just like going to the gym feels like a chore and I just dread doing it. And that's probably when I'll stop myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
I certainly don't want to. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I took the last week as a deload week, and it was nice. Boy,
Yeah, listen. It took me a couple years ago. I don't turn deloads down or recipes. I take them.
For sure. It felt good. I told Chaz, like, we got to train tomorrow, but like it'd be nice if we had 2 deloads back to back. I got no problem just going home tomorrow night after work.
That's funny as hell. Yeah, because I remember when I first started bodybuilding and I started getting into the fitness thing, I was one of them NDO, no days off. I can't fuck you. You're a pussy. You take days off. Mm-hmm. Nah, man. Now a day off, weekend, 3 days in a row. Say less. I'll see you back. I'll see you in 4 days. Mm-hmm. Straight up. But we know how to train now. You know what I mean? I know back then I didn't really know how to train. I just was in the gym moving weights around.
Yep. Yeah. So when you take it, it's needed. It's necessary.
Yes.
Your body's like, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Your central nervous system is like, thank you.
Yeah, man. Shit. I remember I was listening to your podcast when you were saying like how you come back off of deloads and your strength is even better sometimes. And I found that to be the case. Like when I started, I wouldn't say I take structured deloads, but there'll be times where I definitely listen to my body and I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna run these next few sessions at, like maybe like half half of what I usually do, just to let everything catch up. And then when I run right back around to the next training cycle, I'm much better. I feel much better. And then weights and reps start going up, and I'm like, oh, I didn't change a damn thing, but just took my foot off the brake for just a second, catch my breath, and then I get right back to it.
You guys feel when you guys are when you guys are leading up there, you'll decide like I need a deload. Are there any signs that your bodies give you? Like for me, my mind muscle connection isn't as good. Maybe my pumps aren't as good, and I just feel like I'm dragging ass in the gym. So that's usually when I'm like, okay, I'm gonna.
For me, it's like my body's just beat to shit, and I'm actually thinking about doing it this week because I just finished a 16-week push. And like I'm gonna pull food back down, and I think I'm just gonna deload for the week and just let my body recover. So when I go down,
finishing a 16-week push,
and then honestly, like I'm going down to Tampa with you animals, so it's like. I want to give my body a little bit of a rest before I absolutely beat the bag out of it for 3 days with you guys.
I'm looking forward to that.
I'm ready to train legs. I said I'm gonna bury some people in legs. Maybe not Chris. I was like, Chris gonna hang with me, but I'm ready to bury some people on leg day.
I've trained with a lot of people over the years, and I've trained with like a lot of like pros and stuff. And there's really only been one person I had a hard time keeping up with.
Branch.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. I mean, I pushed myself probably harder than I ever pushed myself before in the gym. But man, that was something else.
Chris was fighting for his life.
Yeah. I loved every second of it though. It was like
I could imagine.
It was like one of my dreams come true because he's him and Ronnie were like the ones I used to watch growing up when I first started getting into this sport back in like 2001 when I started just like following it and watching it and training in the gym. So
sure. I don't want to like harp on these type of questions, but this is one that definitely I think about for like Carlos.
Yeah.
How do I word it? Did it feel heavy carrying around the expectations that the outside world put on you for bodybuilding?
That's a really good question. I would say I think it wasn't their expectations. It was really a lot of my own. It was so much of just me and the my own self-talk, I think that's something I really grappled with. That was the worst part. And the people outside of me, like the other people thinking, this guy could be this or he could be that. It's nice to hear. But I think it was just more so just my own expectations, man. And when you don't do what you set out to do, like I could tear myself down faster than anybody else can. I'm my true worst enemy. And then I think on couple with that, then from within, you start to tear yourself down and then that lets other stuff in, right? You know what they say, like the only way you can sink a ship is if you let the water get in. And the only way that outside stuff got to me is because I let it in, because I damaged myself. I broke the hull. You know what I mean? So I allowed that to seep in, and then man, it's just like it just goes down and down and down and down, and until one point I was just like, you know what? I just need to take away from it. And man, I'll tell you this, man. I ain't got no shame in it. I was telling you, like, you know what? And this wasn't even because of anybody else, just because I realized what we talked about earlier. The same thing we talked about earlier. I was like, man, you know what? I put so much into this that like I kind of didn't neglected a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like my career is good, but I was like, man, like I have so much left in the tank in that area that I did not push. And I was like, you know what, man? Like I'm gonna push that. And that's what I decided to do. I was like, you know, I'm gonna still do bodybuilding, but I'm not gonna be bodybuilding. But I'm gonna focus on other areas that are Carlos, like I was talking to you. I was like, man, like I really wanted to get into teaching, get my doctorate degree. I got my master's already. I'm like, there's nothing held me back from doing that. The only thing that held me back from doing that was like, no, I'm a bodybuilder. I got to focus on bodybuilding.
Yeah.
It's good to hear that, man, because, someone who was my favorite bodybuilder said something about you. I mean, he's no longer my favorite bodybuilder, and because everybody bodybuilds for their own reasons, and we're not meatheads. You know what I'm saying? Like we are more like, you're more capable of going to go get your doctorate, doing other things, having other hobbies and things to do. Your life doesn't revolve around bodybuilding. It's just what you do. And it's so cool to hear that, because some of these people out here on these fucking platforms, they feel like when you show up to do a show and you don't do as well as they expect you to do, you ain't as good enough. And it's like, man, fuck you. You don't even know me. You don't even really know. I don't even care. I'm just showed up and I look good. I don't give a fuck about you. And I bet you won't say that shit to my face either. You know what I'm saying? Because people are real disrespectful. Like I swear the internet has created this space where people feel like they can say whatever they want and not get punched in the mouth. And it's sad because another thing is a lot of people don't know what you deal with also. You know what I'm saying?
No one knows.
Everybody has their trials and tribulations, and I've never had a prep that went perfect. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when people are in preps, they're dealing with stuff. So it's good to hear you say how you've learned to not allow certain things to put that hole in your boat. You know what I'm saying? Because you know who you are as a man and as a person, and none of this shit validates you. You put a lot of pressure on yourself because, listen, we're in a sport where we could do everything fucking right, literally, and come in second call-outs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to live with that. And then, what do you think happened? I don't know, motherfucker. I just made second call-outs. That's just what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what it is, Dougie? Something you were saying to me, like how people don't know what you or what you're going through. I always I try to look at a different angle every once in a while, where you'll see these people that are just like, you'll see them pop up on various posts and they're always saying just negative shit. And I always think to myself, like, man, what is going on in your life, bro, where you're just projecting this negativity onto everyone else? It's like, fuck what I'm going through. Like, what is this dude going through where he's just such a miserable asshole all the time?
Here's the thing, like half the time it might not be a problem with the person. It just might be them trying to rage bait and get clickbait so that
that's the other thing too.
So they can make more money out of it. So it's like, dude, you're sitting here insulting people on a personal level, and you don't know how that's going to affect them. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Some kid the other day was talking shit to me, and he's like, you're 55 years old and your physique is mid as fuck. And I'm like, first of all, buddy, if I was 55 years old and I looked like this, my physique is not mid by any stretch of the imagination. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if you're trying to bait me here, but no, that ain't gonna fly. And that's the thing. Like, that's why all these videos are just all rage bait, clickbait, and it's all negative shit. Because if someone sees like, someone so-and-so got a sponsorship or so-and-so did something good in their life, it's like they'll like the picture, they'll move on. Maybe they'll be like, hey, congrats.
Hey,
but then when
that's why I'm blocked from several pages right now. Honestly, because I speak my mind, and I'm gonna defend people that like don't deserve to be like treated like that. Like you're blind as shit. You don't know what you're talking about in bodybuilding. Stop personally attacking people, and then 5 minutes later, I'm blocked.
I just feel that on the macro of things, as a society, especially in the United States, everyone is just so divided in every single way.
Facts.
And I try not to get sucked in. Sometimes I wake up and choose verbal violence on social media, but for the most part, I try not to give into that, just because it just perpetuates all the negativity that we just don't need.
Yeah. You can easily. I think that's also why I stepped away, is because I had so much like reverence and respect for like bodybuilding in the community. Cause I was just like, man, like, and then I looked at it and I was just like, dude, like these motherfuckers suck. They fucking suck. They fucking suck, bro. I'm sorry to say be so blunt with it, but I'm like, man, these people fucking suck. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I was like, you know, I wash my hands of it, man. Like, I don't want to consume it or be a part of it. I'm gonna still do what I do. Yeah. I'm gonna still, you know, thanks, honey. And I'm gonna still, you know, enjoy the process of it. But man, I'm like, and I ain't gonna let these people like dictate how I feel and how I see myself, and you know what I mean, like they're not gonna dictate that for me. I won't allow it. And so that's why I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go back to what I did before I was even known, bro. Before I even known, bro. Like I hustled this shit from nothing, and I say that with full confidence.
Facts.
Seriously, I hustled this shit like just in a fucking, you know, small ass fucking YMCA gym, dude. Like just me and my pops, bro. Like I don't need you guys. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't need any of this. You know what I mean? Like
facts.
You know. So like that's why like I was like, you know what? I need to step away from it because I don't want it to change me to a person that I'm not.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to change
because it can. It can.
You already see it. You see it. Look at some of these people
100%
who run around saying dumb shit. Sorry to curse like that, guys, but they run around they let it change who they are.
Sure.
They let it change who they are. So, and I was like, it's not gonna be me. And actually, I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be me because I know it did change me in ways. And I looked in the mirror and I said, you know what? I don't like that. So I had to take a step back.
I respect it.
So
I respect that.
So it's like in hindsight, it's probably like the best learning lesson that you probably had that came across you.
Yeah, man. I had to get kicked in the fucking mouth just to wake up and be like, oh, wait a second, hold on. Like this isn't.
I'm letting all these people that don't know me through a fucking hole in the wall dictate how I'm gonna even handle the rest of my career.
And the same people that'll talk about you and give you a nasty comment will be the same people that will stand in line to take a fucking picture with you, and you will never know who these fucking people are.
100%, man. So
I always forget.
I screenshot faces. I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
I had to say that.
Yeah, I'm not with that. I don't play that shit. That's just because I'm a genuine person, man. Like, and I just don't like that. You know, I can't. I've been that way since I've been a kid. I walk smooth past people I used to be super cool with. Once you cross me,
Well, that's a problem too. Like me and Mike even had this conversation standing in line yesterday. Like there's certain people out there that are they portray a different image online or put videos up and try to be a motivational speaker. And I'm like,
and they're a piece of shit. You can't be a motivational speaker and you're a piece of shit.
And
I can't stand those.
They're completely different in person. Yeah. Me and Mike had this conversation yesterday.
I always said the ideal bodybuilding career is where you bodybuild on your own terms and you're independently successful without bodybuilding. And that can back your bodybuilding career.
You hit the nail on the fucking head. That's so true.
Yep.
Because there is no money in bodybuilding. It's outside of bodybuilding.
Yeah. And then you can bodybuild on your own terms. You don't have a sponsorship. Not that you won't get one, but like, okay, if the sponsorship goes, you're still good. You know what I mean? Bodybuilding on your own terms. I say that being a broke ass bodybuilder. You know, if a supplement company comes along right now, offers me a chunk, I'm not gonna say no. But
without question, you know, because as a bodybuilder, you want that. I remember when I first got in. You guys remember? What was it? The green Arnold Schwarzenegger Muscle Farm series?
Yeah, Muscle Farm joint. Yeah.
Bro, I used to spend $200-$300 praying to God one day I could get a sponsorship. I remember thinking that was the coolest shit in the world, just to have a sponsorship as a bodybuilder. So we all want it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I honestly think that like I had more. I wouldn't say I cared more when I didn't have sponsorships, you know, like because I knew what I knew that it was all on me. You know what I mean? It was everything I did was on me. But when I got sponsorships, I was like, man, like, oh, you know, I got a sponsorship. I'm doing good. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to use this. And it helped me because I was like, okay, sponsorships, fund my bodybuilding. My work, fund my life. And that was a good dynamic that I had there until I was like, oh, man, like I stopped growing where I should have been in my career, you know, like, I'm not saying I didn't grow, but I could have pushed even harder, man. I was like, I could have dug a little bit deeper. I could have done a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I could have pursued my doctorate like I did my master's in bodybuilding. But I was like, you know what? I don't want the stress. I'd rather just keep my position where it is and my bodybuilding where it is. And then it's good. It's all good. But I got, don't get too comfortable, man. Like, don't get too comfortable. Keep going. Keep striving. And that's why this year it snapped me back. Boom, it's a splash of water in my face. I was like, oh no, like I got more left in the tank. Oh shit, fuck this. I'm like, let me start studying for my doctorate again. Like, let me go and do that. Let me take that. You know what? I always wanted, I was like, man, you know what? I always wanted to pursue, you know, more higher education, like teaching and higher education. Let me examine that lane. I'm like, you know, it was something to me that where it was just a wake-up call this year. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You're going to do
like,
it regardless. You don't have to put, it's not that you're not putting your all into bodybuilding, but because it's what you do and it's a part of your lifestyle, you can focus on something else to kind of take the pressure off of bodybuilding. You know, I get it. That's why
that's where the pressure came from.
Team. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing so many other things so that bodybuilding isn't just over consuming my life.
Yeah. And that's where the pressure came from, to answer your question, Mike. I think the pressure came from, I was like, I'm putting my own pressure on it. I'm like, I'm doing this, you know what I mean? Like I'm sacrificing a lot of things to do this, where I was like, man, like I really didn't have to do that. I really didn't have to do that stuff. I didn't really have to sacrifice things. You know what I mean? I could have done it. Like if I was honest with myself, I could have done that. I could have pursued my doctorate some more. Like, that's okay. Like, Natalia just did it. Natalia just won the fucking Miss Olympia and got a doctorate. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, what's my excuse? You know what I mean? So like, that's what I was, you know, that was the things that, like, I was looking at this year, and I was like, I think it was a blessing because it really did open me up to just trying to be a better person, you know, in my own life, and being like, you know what? Not saying I was a shitty person, but I was like, I could have been better. I know I could be better. And I think that's like the reason why I stepped away from everything else. Cause I was like, I need to be better in these areas. And I won't come back to social media and pretend to be someone else again. Like, I won't pretend to shill products. Not they saying like I didn't have good sponsors, but I don't want to do that anymore because that's not who I am. And I'm being dishonest and I'm acting in bad faith if I go back to that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? When I get back to being on social media, when I get back to stepping back on stage, like, I want to be proud of the person that I am, regardless of the placings.
Sure. No, I feel that. I think that, like, you know, I've gone to a lot of therapy in life and learned stuff about myself. And like how you said you allowed yourself to let that water into your ship. For me, bodybuilding's kind of been a weird opposite for me. Like, I'm not gonna call myself a quitter ever, but in life, definitely big things, you know, when shit got harder, didn't go my way, I would be like, fuck this, right? Like when college basketball didn't work out to pro basketball overseas, fuck basketball, just stepped away. When school got hard and I didn't finish with a degree, it was like, all right, fuck school. Like, I'm just going to go get a job. Like, I'll figure it out. And when bodybuilding really stuck hold for me, it was like one of those things that, like, Mike, you've quit on everything in life. Like, you quit on things when you shouldn't have. And so for me, I'm almost in this thought of like, I can't quit on bodybuilding. Like, I got this far, I got this deep. Like, if you quit now, you're just quitting like you did on all the other things in life. Which is it's a weird paradox, right? Because it's like when becomes the time that it's okay to step away versus like that mantra in my head that's like, don't give up on another fucking thing because like this is something that you've been able to stick to.
I don't think
So
I don't think
I was just
bodybuilding
gonna say
is hard.
I like hearing Carlos talk about this because I think we all go through different mental battles that are really fucking tough, and we're not gonna share that shit on social media with people. But
I like the way
I
like the way Carlos articulated. I felt this. What you say resonates with me a lot. You know, for me, I didn't grow up wanting to be a bodybuilder. I wanted to be a football player, but I'm 5'6". Knew that shit wasn't in the plan. You know what I'm saying? But when I got into my late 20s and my early 30s, when I did my first bodybuilding competition at 31, I even thought I was too old then. You know, society teaches you 30s old. So I'm like thinking I'm old. And if it wasn't for Dr. Prisk, I don't think I would have even tried to pursue bodybuilding. But he heard me telling somebody else that I'm too old, and he told me I wasn't. And he started telling me stories about guys in their late 30s, early 40s, still reaching their muscular peaks. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I'll stick with it. And thank goodness I did, because I wound up doing something I never thought I would do. But at the same time, then we all realize how much more difficult it is the better you get. Yeah, that shit gets fucking harder. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck?
But I Mike, to speak really quickly to what you were saying about, you know, like the feeling of not wanting to quit because of, you know, obviously like there's things that you have, you know, kind of left in the past. I had that same feeling because I was like, man, like I'm like, man, this is a sunk cost. You know, it's kind of like in for a penny, out for a pound. Like I put a lot into this, and I'm like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm like, but what is? I had to think to myself, what does there mean to me? You know what I mean? Like, does it mean winning? Is it Olympia? Is it getting to Olympia? Is it winning a pro show? What does that there mean? And I had to sit back and like kind of define what that there means for me. And if that there doesn't happen, am I okay with that? And can I move forward being okay? And I think, and because I'm gonna tell you, be honest with you, and I don't give a fuck right now, man, because it's what it is. Like I said to myself, I was like, you know what? This might be my last year. Like next year might be my last year competing. Yeah, you know, and it's not because of I feel a certain way towards bodybuilding or I feel like this.
You living your life on your terms.
Exactly. I looked at it like I got so much left in me, man. Like in other areas that I didn't give to, and could I give to both?
Yeah, you ain't old.
No, I could give to both, and I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to do my best, but I'm like, if I wanted to, I want to be comfortable with like, if next year is my last year, then it's good. If the year after that's my last year, then I'm okay with it. And I think it just takes time sitting with that. Like, what does that mean for me? What does that look like, you know, as an individual? And that doesn't mean you're going to leave the lifestyle behind, right? No. Like that's who we are. That's kind of ingrained. Like, and I love the routine. I love getting up. I love doing my cardio in the morning. It sets my day off right. It makes me more productive as a person. But yes. I think it's just looking at what does that mean? What does that look like? What is that when how will I, you know, I thought to myself, like, how will I know? Like, and it just took time for me to sit back, think about it and be like, you know what? Like, I think I would be okay if I even stepped away like next year. Like, I'll be fine. Like, I'll be fine with it. But it took me a while because I was like, I don't know if I would be okay. I would be scared. Like I'd be like, who am I? This identity, right? Yeah. Like, this identity is locked in. Yeah. But that's what I said. Like after this year, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, man. Like I had a conversation with a friend. I was like, you're more than that. You're more than this thing. And it took me a while to get there, man. So, but yeah.
No,
Carlos, do you think to yourself, like, because I've had this conversation before with anything, is my life going to be fulfilled if I step away from that, like that aspect of my life? If I've gotten fulfillment from something, then that's when I'm like, okay, I don't have a problem walking away from something or pursuing something else. You know, if I don't have that fulfillment, you know, that word there, that's when I'm like, no, I still got more left. I still want to do this.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, in other things make it hard too, right? Like it's not just the lifestyle. I mean, I attribute all the people we have on here, right now, I consider friends, very close friendships I have now. are attributed to this thing bodybuilding. You know,
Agreed.
the way I make money now is attributed to it. So it's not just stepping away from being on stage. Not that you're going to lose these friends, right? But you're stepping away from an entity that kind of built your adult circle, your adult life, at least for me, you know. So there's not just the physical side of stepping away from the stage or competing. There's also this emotional and this piece of like your soul that's like, you know, bodybuilding kind of built my adult life in a way.
Yeah,
so that makes it,
you know, that's so true, man. You know, I just sat down with my coach, and we talked about like what's next for me and where I'm at in my stage and career in bodybuilding, and like what am I competing for? You know, I've had dudes literally say to me, professional bodybuilders, like, dude, if I made it to Olympia one time, I'd retire. Right. But then you have other bodybuilders that want to go back multiple times. You know, what are you doing it for? For me right now, especially with the situation that I just happened, for me, I'm competing because it's fun and I want to build my brand. I want to continue to build my legacy. You know, I want my grandkids to know who I am, what I look like, what I created. And, you know, I may never win another bodybuilding competition again. I don't care. You know, but what I will do is I'll motivate and I'll inspire other people to live better lives and to go after whatever it is that they want in life, because, you know, nothing's going to be given to you. Nothing's going to be handed to you. You know, when I talk to kids, you know, when I do my motivational speaking, I always say, who believes that they could be what they want to be? And, you know, kids will always raise their hand, right? And I tell them that's a lie. You know why it's a lie? Because you can't be whatever you want to be. You can only be whatever you're willing to work hard for. And if you ain't willing to work hard for it, it ain't going to happen. I don't care how much you want something. You got to put action behind it. You know, so for me, that's what I'm competing for, just to continue to better my life, the people around me, my kids, you know, my friends. You know, I'm thankful for this circle that I have, man. Like, it was so dope to meet you in person, Carlos.
Yeah, man, that's
You
awesome.
know what I'm saying? Like, I was a huge fan of you. So to be able to like meet you and know you by name, like, you know, because I'm such a bodybuilding fan, you know, and what bodybuilding has given me over these past 10 years, I never imagined. And it was just because my dad always said I should jump into bodybuilding, but I was never really in that mental space, you know. So we all compete for different things. You know, everybody can't be Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not realistic for everybody. But if I'm getting better, I'm living my life on my terms and I'm enjoying myself, that's the only thing that matters to me. You know, I'm helping my community. You know, I bought my house literally across the road from where I grew up, you know, and I'm a public figure in my neighborhood. And, you know, I do a lot of things in the community, man, with my nonprofit. And I got another one, you know, hopefully soon I'll have my own gym, you know. So, and that's like you, Carlos, I've been putting my energy into things that I really want to do, because for me, I want people in my community to not feel intimidated by gyms, not feel like you got to be a bodybuilder if you go into a gym, right? That's just the path I chose. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to work out, because the older we get, the more important it is. And I always tell men and women, young and old, you never want to be in a situation where you need to be strong and you can't. Should never want to be in a
walking up a
situation.
flight of stairs and carrying groceries, shoveling snow or something. Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll always work out, but I ain't got to eat 8 meals a day when I ain't bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? There's just gonna be certain things that I'm not gonna have to do anymore. You know, but I'm competing. I'm competing for life.
For sure.
It's kind of crazy how I want to forget which one of you guys was saying how, like, you know, people saying like, oh, bodybuilders are just meatheads. Like, everybody on this podcast is very successful outside of bodybuilding. You know what I mean? And you gotta think of it like how bodybuilders are. Like, they're super ambitious. They're extremely hardworking. You know, usually everything they do, you know, they go 110% in, you know. Like, he's got his, you know, Carlos has his master's degrees. Like, I have 2 bachelor degrees. You know, we have to know all the stuff about nutrition, training, the mental aspect of it. It's crazy that people think like, oh, you're just a muscle bound meathead. And it's like, man, we do so much more stuff and know about. I mean, I'm a nerd. I read studies all the time, just because that's what I like to do in the when I'm
in your downtime.
Yeah.
Well, if you put us together, we do turn into meatheads.
Workout.
Yesterday was a prime example, and we weren't even there 2 minutes, and we turned into meatheads.
Yeah, we turned to what that person spray painted on that retaining wall next to my house.
I mean, and we're all former athletes too, so we're all alpha males in our own sense, So whatever we do, we want to be great at it. I always say when I used to work at McDonald's and I was the maintenance guy, everybody knew when I worked because that bathroom stayed clean because I don't like dirty ass fucking bathrooms. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I just couldn't help it. Like I swear to God, the workers loved it. They knew when I didn't work. That bathroom was dirty. They know Doug ain't working. You damn right. I don't know how the hell anybody can be around fresh a nasty ass toilet. Yeah, like
no fresh cakes.
When I got to go, I got to go. I can't hold my shit. I don't know how people do. I got to go. I got to go.
We were at the venue yesterday, and I went to use the bathroom, and I had to go number 2. And I went in there, and there was a can all over the toilet seats and everything. I said, "Nope, I'm gonna go next door, next to the hotel, and I'm going to put there."
Hey, but say that morning shit before a show. Or if you ain't shit and you're like, I pray to God I shit before I get on stage, be the best shit ever. Yeah. That last one before you get on stage, oh my God.
Even just getting one out like before a game.
Oh,
before like football game, basketball game, like you're in the locker room and you're like, all right, this better come out now. And then you get up, it's like, all right, let's go. Let's play.
Straight up.
That's shaving hundreds of seconds off that 40 time. So you got to get it out.
Oh, yeah, man.
He said shaving time.
Should we talk about Prague? I feel like
yeah.
Shout outs to Martin.
I wasn't shocked. Martin looked hard, grainy, conditioned. I mean, he looked. In my opinion, that's the best he's ever looked at this point.
Oh, by far.
I agree.
When he walked out, I was like, "What the fuck?"
2 weeks ago was his best. Today was even better.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed. I was a little worried for Samson because he did I saw the individual routine and I saw the rep 1 footage was a little bit clearer on Instagram, and he started having beads of sweat already, and I was like, right here, I'm like, he's sweating already. Yeah. That's just the individual, boy. Like when the call outs happen,
it's on.
It's on, bro. But Martin came out, and you can see in the rep 1 video, which is because the other stuff didn't look as clear. He was really, it was hard. He was dry. He was full. And like Brendan said, his was his best package. Olympia was his best package. And this one was even leveled up even more. I don't know how he did it, but I think they're finally starting to nail him, his peaks and even like his presentation, like it's even looking even better. So yeah, I hate it. I hate it because,
detailed.
Yeah.
When he was in Pittsburgh, even though everybody say he didn't do that well, he is so detailed down to the finite gram of every fucking thing, bro. Like it's insane.
Yeah. I gotta say, Mike called this last year. Mike called this 100% last year.
What, that he would run it back?
He goes, Martin is going to win an Olympia at some point in time.
Oh yeah, after this.
Now you're starting
to believe that. Yeah.
You're starting to see it now. And if you if he can keep this kind of condition and hardness, like you're in 10 pounds and he gets 10 pounds more on that frame, no one's going to be able to compete with him.
Trust me.
As long as he keeps his shape, and doesn't lose the shape off like what he has right now, there's no way.
Yeah, because he's solid
There's just
muscle,
no way.
bro.
He is.
His back is so dense. Look at his back. It's the thickness. It pops out like a fucking mountain.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is insane, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I like about Martin? And sorry if my mic is lagging because it seems to lag when I share the screen. But he said he wants to bodybuild his way. He's not trying to get too big. He's not trying to. He is playing to his strengths, and that's being hard as hell, shredded at 235 to 240 on stage, and he's taking down much bigger guys playing his game, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, like, size gets you to a certain point, and then it starts going in the wrong direction, especially if it's not meant for your physique. So I agree with what Martin's saying. Like, you have to go with your strengths in your own physique. Like, you can't blow yourself out too much and then take the structure in your symmetry away, because if you do that and that's all you have, then you start trying to play the size game, then you start losing that, and then you pull yourself back. I mean,
it goes back to that. It goes back to that whole phrase where, you know, bodybuilding is a marathon, not a sprint. Martin's going at his own pace. He's adding, you know, good amounts of muscle in key spots year after year, where, you know, his body's getting used to that new muscle, and it's not causing his frame, especially his waistline and that shape, to be distorted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least that's what I've been seeing over the last few years, for sure.
Yeah, man. And it's been. Go ahead.
Yes, somebody with the video that Mike's showing right now. Did Keon's midsection look like that? Like, I mean, like his abs, like the way they're outlined, was his abs like that like 2 years ago? Because I don't think they were. There's complete separation.
It was like the beginning. You could see it a few years ago.
I mean,
that gap is deep as it is now.
Huge. That gap is huge in the middle of the midsection.
Yeah, I mean, that's an actual thing called diastasis, which is that weakening of the abdominal wall where the spreads apart like that. And, you know,
you think it's because he's growing too fast?
It could be, or maybe he's bracing really hard in his stomach on certain lifts. You know, pregnant women, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying Keon is like a woman by any means like this, but a lot of pregnant women get diastasis when giving birth. And usually it's because of a lot of pressure in that abdominal cavity, which causes that to spread. Yeah. And, you know, maybe he is, I know he trains really hard, you know, he's racing a little bit, too much.
Does he train with a belt on at all times? I've seen some of his video. He has a belt on, and
that was one of the things I was going to ask next as well, Carlos. Because if you have a belt, especially like not like a powerlifting belt that's much
the tapered ones.
You have the tapered ones, like, you know, like Ronnie Coleman always wore a tapered one, and his abdominal, you know, wall did the same thing. Plus, he was eating a shitload of food.
Yeah,
but you know, I mean, he's training hard, he's training heavy, and when, you know, I think when you're always wearing a belt super tight, especially it's one of those tapered ones, you know, your stomach is going to hang out over it, especially when
and even I feel it because I have one that's tapered. It's in I have a powerlifting one. That's the main one I use, and I don't really feel it when I wear that because obviously it's you know, it's thicker. It's just long.
I have the same thing, Carlos.
And I think that's the best one for bodybuilders to use because when you use those tapered ones, it obviously like the pressure is like this concentrated on a small area, and you can. And when you're bracing, your belly, your stomach's going to come out over it, and I could feel it sometimes if I use that belt and I do like a heavy squat. It almost feels like it's a small like strain around that area because it's an uneven amount of pressure there. But I know it's something he probably was born with, and it's exacerbated obviously by training and food and all these other factors. But I've seen some of his videos. I've seen he wears belts like that. I don't know if it's correlated, but I would probably lean towards just trying not to wear those. You know, I mean, work on like more internal bracing. Obviously, he has great TVA control. He pulls a vacuum like no other. But maybe try doing other things like, I don't know, maybe more planks, more side planks. But yeah, it's getting exacerbated a bit. And I hope it doesn't hinder him moving forward.
I mean, I always wore a belt. I always wore my powerlifting belt. But even when I was squatting 600, 700 pounds for reps, I'd watch videos. My stomach would come out over it, even over the powerlifting belt.
Yeah, it'll happen.
So like one of the things I've done this year is I think I've won my weight belt maybe 3 times this whole year so far, and my waist has actually come down a little bit. And
I rarely wear a waist belt. I have one, but I rarely wear it.
Yeah.
Yep.
God, Chriso just needs to work on his back posing.
Hey, I was about to say he has no glutes. Like when he did the Pittsburgh, when I was on the Pittsburgh, and I'm standing online looking at everybody's asses because I wasn't in no first or second call out. His motherfucking glutes, bro. He does not have none, and I was like, damn. Listening to a lot of the bodybuilders that live in Europe, where he lives, it's kind of like not like men don't like training glutes over there. It's like a thing. Like it's not looked at as something to do, but you can tell the difference when somebody has some glutes and somebody doesn't. Because his side shots, I'm like, damn, if he had a little bit more glutes, he would look much more proportioned in the side shots to me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree
with that too.
Do you guys think I haven't seen scorecards yet, but do you think it was close between Martin and Samson?
I actually did see the scorecard. And from the scorecard, Martin won both the prejudging and finals.
Okay.
I want to say it was a 2-point difference.
I'm gonna check right now.
And I think between Keon and the other guy who got fifth, I think that was like a 1-point difference.
Joan.
Yeah, I did
Is
see
it Juan or Joan? I don't know.
I think it's Joan.
I still can't figure out his name.
I think on the website I saw it on, but I did see it, and it was with Terrence running the classic. That was unanimous.
Yeah,
but with Samson and Martin, it was close. I know Martin got 4 points at prejudging and 4 points at the evening show or the next day show, so he got 8 total points.
So what are the points? Or do they give you a point for winning a shot?
No, I think you want the least amount of points. So it's like
they throw the high and the low out.
Yeah.
So prejudging, it was Martin 4, Samson 5. Yep. Finals, Martin 4, Samson 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it was 8 to 10.
Yeah. So close.
And then Chriso had 19. Chriso had 19 and Keon had 26.
And then the other guy,
it was only a 1-point difference between
fourth and
Joan and Keon.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys think the difference was that got Martin the win? Do you think it was just a conditioning fullness thing? Do you think it was Samson still being slightly downsized through the legs?
I thought Samson was pretty full blown for this show, but
he looked better than Olympia.
Yeah, yes. But I don't think he had the look that he had last year's Olympia when he won. I think that maybe they pushed dieting so hard, and you can only do so much within a short period of time.
Yeah. He just wasn't intimidating enough to me. Like Samson is a big dude. The year he won the Olympia, when he came out, to me, it was like he was intimidating.
Over.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like that. I felt like Marty was the intimidating one at this one. I felt like when he came out, it was like, oh shit, you're not playing.
Yeah.
I think if Martin looked like he did at Prague and he looked like that on the Olympia stage, I think it would have been a lot interesting. You know.
Sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's gonna be interesting next year, man, because that's the thing about the Olympia. Who's going to be the top 3 next year? Is Hardy going to get back in? Is Marty going to move up? What's going to happen to Nick? You know what I'm saying? Like, what about Tonio?
Andrew Jack?
Andrew Jack. I mean,
it only gets more competitive from here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck? We got to see how this next year goes.
Yeah, I think some interesting
just to be honest. Yeah, I think I think we said last year going into, not just this year, but like we even said last year, this is the best Olympia we've ever seen. And then we saw it this year and we're like, holy shit, like, 1 through 20, like you don't even know what's going to happen after pretty much the top 4. And everyone everyone had like Nick, Derek, Cotty, Sampson in the top 4, and then like it was complete wild card that like Nixon 6, and like now all of a sudden Andrews in 3. Like nobody had any of that shit.
No,
then
everyone
had Baruz in the top 6, and then he's outside the top 10, and it's like,
yeah,
what? Like you're looking at it, and you're just like,
yeah.
and that's the thing. Like everyone who came out individually, we're looking at, and we're sending in a message. We're like, holy shit, spot on. And then all of a sudden, you put somebody next to somebody, and you're like, oh shit, they are not on. Like Martin exposed a lot of fucking people that were off at the Olympia. A lot.
I
think Martin adds a few more quality pounds in right spots. He's gonna be giving Derek a run for his money, man.
100%.
I mean, we saw last year when Derek was not at his best. It kind of looked like Martin was pushing him.
I had Martin ahead of Derek last year. I thought just on the conditioning and that graininess that Martin has, you know.
He's creeping. I say
he wants it.
If Derek can't run 2 in a row, it's gonna be Marty that's gonna get one, in my opinion, in the next 2 to 3 years. I just feel like if Derek can't go on a run, Martin's coming.
You know what's great about Martin too is that like Martin just loves this shit.
That's what I mean. He's a bodybuilder, bro. Like when I was hanging in Texas with him a couple years ago, real shit. Hanging out, me, him, my coach, we go into the store, I grab a bag of chips. He said, come on, Doug. You know that shit ain't gonna help you in no fucking bodybuilding competition. I said, God damn, dude. Like, I like chips. Ain't about winning a fucking, I'm not in the prep right now, but that's his mindset. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't gonna help him win, fuck it. He don't give a shit. It'd be a true treat for me when I get to hang out with people like him, you, Carlos, Keon, and I get to get those. You get to really see who really about this shit, and that was before he won to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? That was before he, you know what I'm saying? Like he lives this shit. I know he lives this shit.
Yeah. Well, Doug, if you can come to Tampa, you can see how I'm not that day. I'm gonna get them chips with you, boy.
Shit, man, you ask me now, bro. You might call me. You catch me now. I'm like, chips, bro.
You feel me?
Yeah, we're kicking back.
Yeah,
yo, Doug,
a little older.
Doug, if you come to Tampa and we smoke at night, bro, like I'm raiding a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have some Cheez-Its on deck.
Listen, bro.
Yes.
I tell people I'd be lying if I said I don't eat shit that I know I shouldn't eat. Now in a prep, no, absolutely not.
Bro,
but in my off season, I will go to Crumble Cookie. I will go to where I eat whatever. Whenever I want something, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah. It's an 80-20 rule, right? I get all my meals. Always get all my meals. As long as you
get all your meals in, you can do whatever the fuck you want out of that.
And if I'm looking good in the off season, then I'm gonna have a little extra at night. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's how I body build. That's my balance, people. That's my balance.
Yeah, we take a little bit of Lee Priest because wasn't he like that? Lee Priest would eat everything and some.
Yeah.
I have to say though, like this has probably been, I would say, probably like I wouldn't say the least strict, but like it's not like how it was with Patrick tour, like where I did nothing in the off season type thing. Like right, I have maybe 1 or 2 off plan meals a week, and then maybe if I'm chilling, I'll have some chips here and there. I'm like you, I love chips, bro. That's my shit. I'm like a little I'm like a raccoon, bro. I'm a raccoon with them. I'm just, and the bag's gone. The bag is gone. I'm just like I'm looking at myself. I'm like,
you're like you open it, you got to finish it.
That's what people love about us is we're real. We're real as shit. Yeah. We're gonna tell it like it is, bro. Fuck that.
But I ain't gonna lie though, this is the leanest all season I've had, man. Like and the most food I've ate, and I'm just like, I'm gonna ride this shit, bro. I don't know if it's because I'm getting a little older, if it's because mentally I'm a little bit more relaxed.
I was about to say you seem to be in a real good mental space, man, and that's where we all need to try to stay. You know what I mean? Our body, to me, my body responds better when I'm in a good mental space.
I'm telling you, bro. Like when we talked about it earlier, and it was just like, man, when I was just. When you said like, oh man, like balance, prep, we're all in, off season kind of chill, bro. I wasn't like that. I was like when I worked with Patrick, I learned on all the time. And it got to the point, and it burnt me out for a bit.
Mental state.
Yeah. I would say it burnt me out. And then I would say the best preps I've had and like the best looks I've had came from when I had an off season, not where I was like eating crazy junkie, but where I relaxed a little bit. And I was like just I said, like this is one of a really good off season for me, where I had time off to have with my family and my loved ones, and I traveled a little bit more. And like of course I travel now, and I still pack meals with me because that's just what it is. But if I'm out traveling, I'm like, well, 6 meal, and we all got out to dinner. I'm like, fuck that 6 meal, leave it in the fridge. I'm going out to dinner. Go out to dinner.
Yep.
So yeah, I just had to put that, harken back on that. I'm like, man, like it I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just the flip of the mindset is really helping out this time.
I don't care how strong mentally or physically anyone is. Everyone has a point where like they redline and they need to pull it back, and it's the same thing. It's like with bodybuilding, right? You're 24/7, 365. Eventually you're going to lose your edge a little bit because you need a break. If you're working too much, sometimes you need to take a vacation. When you're training too much in the gym and you need to do a deload week or take a few days off from the gym, everybody has a level where there's a limit where they hit and they're like, okay. Usually you can push past that limit again in the near future when you've taken a break and stuff like that, because you kind of adapt and get stronger and you get a little bit more resilient. But everyone has that one point where they're just like, I need to take my foot off the gas.
Yeah.
I need to, refuel. You know what I mean?
I'll say this too, like we only get a finite amount of numbers of days and moments with people that we love, right? Mm-hmm. Like you only get so many Thanksgivings with your family. You only get so many holidays with the people you love. You only get so many trips with the ones that are important around you. You don't want to miss those things. You're going to miss some of them when you are in prep, but like, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't want bodybuilding to take those experiences and those times spent away from me. Yeah. I personally just don't think they should, because there's more important shit in life than bodybuilding at the end of the day.
Facts.
That's the other thing too. I hear so many people, like I've heard pros, amateurs, no matter what. Like some people are like, oh, I'm not going to go to a family function because I'm in the middle of prep. Like, dude, here's the problem. You chose to be in prep. Your family didn't choose for you to be in prep. So like, and you don't know what can happen on a daily basis. So throwing it out there, like what happens if you're in the middle of prep? You don't want to go there because there's going to be other food there. You don't want to pack your food and just eat it there. And then something happens to a family member a week later and you regret.
You had the opportunity to see them.
You had the opportunity to see them and you didn't. Like, this is my point. Like, and this is what people need to understand. Like, if there's a family function and there's going to be food there, you got to have control over yourself. Take your prep food with you and go there and eat and actually enjoy the time with your family or whoever it is. Like,
family should always be number one. Facts. Family should always be number one.
Man, you can balance it. Stop letting everyone else be like, if you don't do it this way, you're not hardcore enough.
And let's all be honest. If you're on your shit, 1 meal's not gonna ruin your fucking prep. I don't give a fuck. 1 meal ain't gonna ruin your prep. If you want to have if you arrange to have your free meal at your family function, just don't be a dick and eat all the cookies and all the extra shit, eat your meal.
Keep it moving. Dougie, stay in your bag of chips.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Don't eat the whole bag.
The last two Thanksgivings, I was in prep. And I mean, I brought my meals with me. I still went to my parents' house for Thanksgiving. Last year I slept the whole time. I was miserable. I just finished one of the shows, and then I was still getting ready for nationals. So like this year is like the first year in 2 years that I'm actually going to be able to eat on Thanksgiving. And my mom told me today that a bunch of my other uncles that I haven't seen in a while are all coming over. So this is like reminding me of my childhood. So like, yeah, like I'm gonna have a few beers. I'm gonna drink. I'm gonna eat my food. I'm gonna enjoy my time with my family. Absolutely, I ain't gonna think twice about it.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna give one single fuck.
That's the problem.
You know?
Some of the people that are out there that compete at a higher level are just trying to brainwash people into thinking that it's the end all be all. And if you eat off your meat, like you eat off plan, like I get it if you're inside like 3 to 4 weeks of a show. Like, yes, I completely understand. But if you're like 10 to 12 weeks out, you can afford to have like one-off meal that's not going to kill you, especially if it's Thanksgiving or something like that. Just don't drink and then just enjoy the food and don't be an asshole when you eat. That's it.
That's what I loved about my coach. He always used to say, "Don't be a Tupperware turd, Doug." You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people can be that. You know, it's like you could be like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my food," but it's like, bro, you're not even in prep.
Yeah, you're in the middle of the off season, and
you're not even in prep, bro. If you want to eat that food at the wedding or the family reunion, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And I always loved that about my coach. You know what I'm saying? He would say stuff to me like that, like, "Dude, don't be a Tupperware turd. Are you in prep?"
Nice.
Yeah, it's
like
that.
Is there any more shows after this? No, sorry. Is there any more shows after Prague or no? Is that it? I don't know.
I haven't been looking at it.
I think there's the Japan. The only reason I know this, I think there's the Japan one.
Oh yeah, because they're not having
because
the 212. Care said that he couldn't defend his title.
It's the same guy. Yeah, it's the same guy that promoted the Olympia.
Oh, he's bad for business, bro. I still ain't got paid, bro. I still ain't. It's a just got done fired up. I want my $2,000, bro. You understand?
Yeah.
It's a little $2,000. I want my $2,000. You feel me? It was a lot of money to go over there. Whacking Pledge ain't give me no fucking money to go over there. They never did. You understand? I always paid for my own shit. Ain't nobody paid for no trips, no nothing. I spent my own money to take my wife, my daughter, and my pops over there. Shout out to my pops and my wife. You feel me? We made it happen.
What kind of a sponsorship is that?
What company wouldn't pay? What company?
Oh, Whack and Pledge. Whack and Pledge.
It took me a minute to register that one. I was like, it almost went over. I was like,
oh shit.
Yeah, you've been off the net for a little bit. I've been having a little fun these past couple of days.
No, but Carlos, you heard about the Masters Olympia and all that shit going down?
Yeah, I did hear about that, and man, I was like, dude, that's wild, bro.
I got robbed twice, and they robbed me on my place and no money.
But the thing is, dude, the same guy that promoted the Olympia, the Masters Olympia, is promoting this Japan show that's supposed to be happening next weekend. So he's already
make sure the money in that account.
But he's already paid the sanction fees for the event. So it's like you paid the sanction fees to host the pro event next weekend, but you haven't paid out your athletes from Master Olympia.
Crazy.
I think the IFBB should have been like, you can't do this until you pay people.
He shouldn't be allowed to do nothing.
You know,
I don't think they knew that was the problem. I think they thought everyone was paid out because nobody's ruffled any feathers until Phil said something.
That's the problem in this industry too, is people be scared to ruffle feathers. I'm a ruffle feather motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
We just tuned him up, dude.
I mean,
all of a sudden, we're gonna log.
There's gonna be stories, bro.
There's gonna be 10 stories. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man.
Y'all are funny as hell, man.
That shit. I mean, that whole situation's wild, bro. I don't know how.
No.
I personally think they had Jake step in to try and cut these checks to mediate and get all the negative attention off of everything. So like now everyone's not looking at the promoter, everyone's looking at Jake as being the hero, and then everyone's like, "Thanks, Jake," when the problem is still kind of there.
Well, it's just put a Band-Aid. Yeah, it's like it's just put a Band-Aid over something that's much deeper. It's like trying to fix a shotgun wound to the chest with a fucking Band-Aid.
Yeah. Like, you know, just stick some dirt and duct tape over it.
Oh, one question I want to ask Carlin before we get off here.
Oh yeah,
because
bro.
I know maybe in his time away, he's come across some good stuff. And me and Chris are big anime guys, so
Oh, what's up, bro?
Yeah,
Perked up. You was perked up.
He said, "What's up?"
Yeah, you got it.
I love this.
What's happening?
Any what's that?
Siri speaking. Siri talking.
That was my Siri.
Okay.
Don't worry about me. Nothing, Siri. Be quiet.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. That's wild. Yeah, no, I'm big. We love anime around here, bro. It's good stuff.
Anything you've watched recently in the past like 6 months that you've been like, oh, that's a hidden gem?
Oh man,
I got my notepad out, Carlos, because I'm taking notes.
Let me pull up the let me pull up the Crunchyroll real quick. The list.
Yeah, I'm gonna
forget because I have them all in my in my. Oh, so are you down with the Donghwas? Like you seen like To Be Hero X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Be Hero X fire. Lord of Mysteries is a fire one, bro. Lord of Mysteries.
I have not heard of that.
It's on Crunchyroll. It's a Donghua Chinese animation. And that one there, it's got a lot of world building to it. The light novel's crazy. It's wild, but that one's fire. I like it. It's a good mix of action, some mystery to it. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it, like Gachiakuta, like about the guy who turns trash into like different weapons and stuff like that.
I haven't seen that.
I have
That's
not
fire.
seen that one.
That's on Crunchyroll too. Gachiakuta. That's awesome one. It's pretty fire because a lot of some of the characters, I mean, although they're villains, they're like black anime characters. They got locks, all this stuff. So like a lot of like, you know, the blurs, the black nerds are like really into it because of that. So like I fucked with that one a lot. And which one were we? It was Water Magician. I think it's called Water Magician. That one is dope, man. That one, the Water Magician, yeah, is the dude. He just levels up. He's a magician, like fire.
I saw that one get recommended to me after I got done watching Solo Leveling. There was another one too that I started watching. I can't think the name of it, but it's like she's like a healing mage, and she like leaves her party to go level up with another party. I'll have to figure out the name of it, but that one's really good. A few episodes in on that one, it's really good.
I have a not popular opinion. I did not like Solo Leveling.
I hate
didn't? Tell me why.
I thought it was like little like as far as storyline and depth to the show, I didn't think there was a lot there. I thought it was just like a quick hit of like action scenes, which I appreciate.
It's just because the story arcs take time to develop. So like the season 3, when it comes out, that one's going to have like a lot of the other main characters that are just like, they're finally showing up now because everyone's powerful up. They still really haven't even like introduced like the world-class hunters like Thomas Andre. They just had that one samurai guy that just murked all those flying ants with like a single sword swipe at the end.
So I should hang on.
Yeah, hang on, bro. It's going to get good. It's going to get good. You just keep. It's going to get bigger than you think it will. Like it's from like the manhwa and reading that, it's going to get crazy. Like you just got to hang in there. I think they just try to keep you in with all, obviously the animation and the action scenes are great, but the story does take off a little bit more when you start to get to like the next seasons and a little bit deeper in there. So those are good. I got one more here. I don't know if you ever seen this one, but it's not old, but it's not new. Excuse me, but it's ReZero. And it's just ReZero, and it's basically a guy who like dies, come back to life, and he just like that's his thing. Like you just die, come back to life. But when I say it's kind of like a horror anime, so it's got a little bit of blood, a little bit of guts into it. So if you're not into that stuff, because the way he dies is gruesome. Like he died. One of the scenes he died, but he got ate by like a bunch of rabbits, and like and it shows you. Like
what anime is this? I'm gonna have to check this out.
It's called ReZero, starting life in another world. So what it is like,
what do you watch them on?
I watch it on Crunchyroll. I watch a lot of them on Crunchyroll. Or if you go to if you 9animetv.to is one, but just make sure you have a pop-up blocker because them shits be popping up like like motherfucker. So 9animetv.to, you can watch them on there. I like that one. Oh yeah, and if you go on 9animetv.to, low key, really good one. Is Sword of the Demon Slayer. If you want a good plot,
oh, that's wicked good.
You seen that?
Yes,
Fire.
that one's wicked good.
That was probably like low key. The animation sucked towards the end of it because I don't know what was going on. It looked like One Punch Man episode 1, season 3. It was terrible.
Some of the episodes. I'm very disappointed in One Punch Man season 3 so far.
Right.
Yeah, facts.
But Sword of the Demon Slayer, there were episodes where I was like, man, this is phenomenal, masterpiece episodes.
Okay,
great storytelling. If you're into storytelling, because it all follows this samurai throughout many years, it's great. That's a good one. And I'm done. I can keep going on. You guys don't get me started.
Does ReZero have that character Rem in it?
Yeah, it's got Rem and Ran. Yeah.
Okay, so I actually did start watching that, and I fell asleep on the couch, and that was like 8 episodes past. So I have to go back and rewatch it. I watched the first episode, and yeah, so
that was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. And
this is the most silent you'll ever hear me and Doug.
Sorry, Rick. Yeah, I know.
Look, my kids love anime. My kids love anime, so of course, when I'm in Japan, my daughter wanted to go to all the stores.
That must have been insane.
We had
Japan. Yes.
Did you go to the Don Quixote?
No, see,
bro, the Don Quixote's crazy, bro.
Listen, that's why I have to go back because there's too much. There's an amusement park, anime amusement park. There's all type of stuff, all type of shit.
My massage therapist, he's like my massage guy. He actually just got back from Japan maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, and he's a big anime video game nut. So he was at like the Capcom cafe and like he went to like the Square Enix building.
Yeah,
and, he went to the Don Quixote that you just said. He was there. He's taking pictures of it and stuff. I'm like, I need to go here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, watch out, Doug. Don't go to the maid cafes, bro. They'll get you.
But it ain't the what?
It's just maid cafes. They're just regular cafes, but they all dress up as like basically like maids and like super.
Isn't there like a district that I forget what they call it, but like all the girls dress up as like anime? Is it the Harajuku district?
It's around. Harajuku's like the fashion district, but but you see a lot of people dressed with like the the tall boots, super tall boots, crazy looking skirts.
Yeah, the fashion over there.
The fashion's wild.
The way they dress. Cool. Yeah, like fashion is like serious over there. Like, not that it's not serious in a lot of places, but the way they put their outfits together and the shoes they wear and stuff like that.
Their fashion culture is different.
I had a funny encounter when I was there before we get off. I had a guy, a Japanese kid, and it was actually in Harajuku, so they're a little less like, formally formal, like if you go to like certain prefectures or in cities. But he was just like, hey, he's like, I got a question. He's like, can I ask you? And I hope you won't get offended. He already had kind of like long hair, but he was like, if I made my hair into locks, would you be offended? And I was like, I don't give a fuck what you do, nigga. I don't care.
Yeah,
lock this shit up.
Yeah,
lock this shit up. And so I'm like, lock your shit up, bro. Go ahead. I don't care. Like, I'm not offended. And he was just like, he's oh, thank you. And it was like, he was super excited. So like that Harajuku area is like known for fashion and different in their culture. So that was really cool to see when we were there. I appreciated that a lot. And
that kid ran to his friends. He was like, I got the pass.
He was like, I got the pass, bro. I got the pass, bro.
I'm gonna start palm rolling tonight, boy.
Hey, Carlos, how much did you get groped over there?
Dude, honestly, it wasn't too much. Like, it wasn't crazy.
Bruh.
But you would see people. You see people go like, they go, "Oh, Sugoi," like, amazing, Sugoi, like.
Man, I was getting groped, especially when, and it's funny because I'm with my wife. Everybody wants to touch my arms. People asking, "Is it real?" Poking me and shit. I'm like, this is crazy, but everybody was real respectful.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is big over there, from what I've heard.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I was taking pictures with random people, just wanted pictures with me.
That's the thing.
So
like
cool.
In the U.S., you take it like for granted, but you go anywhere else in the world and like it's like you're a god. You're,
Yep.
you're
You kidding me, Brennan? I go walk around in the supermarket and people are just talking shit.
They understand what goes into it. You know, a lot of people in the States just think it's all drugs. You
Chris
know
just
what
got
I'm
so upset.
Man, I was
He's
in.
like,
I'm
I was
gonna tell you the
produce.
story. I'm gonna tell you the story. I was like 4 weeks out, one of my shows. I just started Halo, so you already know where this shit's going, right? And I'm in a fucking tank top, you know. So I'm like already like close to stage lean, and this one kid was walking with his dad, right? And he was like, "Dad, he looks like the Hulk. He looks like a superhero." And his dad turns and looks at me and looks at his son and goes, "That's someone who's got too much time on their hands and won't amount to anything in life." I stopped and I just was like, I turned and I go, "What did you just say?" And he was like, "What I didn't say." I'm like, no, I heard exactly what you said. I'm like, your son literally just looked at me, said I looked like a superhero. And instead of teaching your son a lesson about that takes a lot of hard work.
Discipline, yes.
If you put hard work in anything in your life, you can be, you know, like that or anything else you want. Instead, you just had to say, I've got too much time on my hands and then I'm not going to amount to anything. I'm like, what message is that sending to your son now?
Yeah.
That was his embarrassment. That was just his deflection. He could. His son looked up to you, not him. That's where that came from. That's where that came.
But man, I was like, I stopped him. I'm like. Usually, I just kind of keep it moving, keep it walking. But I'm just like, hell no.
It is nice when people.
This is the reason why kids are fucked up these days, because the parents are doing that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
I like Fired Up Chris. I like him.
Takes a lot to get me going, but once I go, it takes me a little while to calm back down.
Yeah,
two claps and a Ric Flair.
Absolutely.
You know it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, my Steelers is on, and we almost on what, 2 hours?
Oh yeah, for sure.
These be the best ones.
Yeah. Carlos, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
Yes.
Of course, guys. I really appreciate hanging out with you guys, man. Anytime you need me on, man, you know where I'm at. So just shoot me up. And I didn't even know you.
We'll bring you out the shadows.
I'm going back in, man. I'm going back in, bro. I gotta go back in, dog. I can't be out for too long.
I've seen you a few times in person at shows. I've never actually introduced myself just because you always seem busy and didn't want to intrude. But
no, never.
It was great to finally actually talk with you and get to know you a little bit. So it's been a pleasure, man.
Always, man. I appreciate that, bro. And man, if you guys have any suggestions for me, please send them over, because I can't be the only one giving them out, man. I need some too. I've burned through so many. I'm like, what?
You're gonna have to rely on Chris and Mike on that.
Yeah, please send them over, bro. Because I'm like desperate now. I'm like, I didn't watch all my shows.
Did you watch Fire Force yet?
Oh man, yeah, I watched Fire Force.
Fire Force is a good one.
I'm about to start watching Fruit Basket or something. That's my lady show. She like some little soft shows. I'm like, I don't watch them. But yeah, I appreciate you guys so much, man. And again, like whenever you guys want me on, man, I'm here, bro. I'm just doing the do, man. Just getting it done.
Indeed.
Appreciate that. All right, fellas.
You guys have a good night.
Have a good night.
All right now.
Take care, everybody. Good night.